Rutger Gunnarsson was born in 1946 in a quiet Swedish village. He learned bass guitar as a teenager and eventually joined Björn Ulvaeus's folk band. By 1971, he was recording in a small Stockholm studio with Benny Andersson and Björn on a new project, ABBA. To the world, ABBA was Agnetha's soaring soprano, Frida's emotive alto, and the songwriting duo of Björn and Benny. But behind the scenes, Rutger's melodic bass lines powered every hit. He played on all their albums and tours, even though he seldom took the spotlight. Friends remember him as the quiet architect of the ABBA sound. Always in the background, yet absolutely essential. As ABBA's fame exploded, the band members fell in love and later broke up. By 1980, both marriages within the group had collapsed. Official histories note that the band's music grew darker and more introspective during this time. Rutger Gunnarsson seemed to feel these changes deeply. He became oddly isolated and distracted after studio sessions, often scribbling notes in a spiral notebook filled with symbols and half-sung melodies. Bandmates and engineers from Polar Studios recalled that Rutger began lighting candles during sessions, carrying a copy of an Old Norse text around the studio, and even speaking softly in what sounded like prayers in Swedish. On the Mamma Mia musical tour in the late 90s, some performers said Rutger would walk the stage during the final bows, eyes downcast. No one knew what was on his mind, until now. After ABBA officially disbanded in 1982, Rutger continued as a respected arranger, working on rock musicals like Chess and albums for stars worldwide. But his personal life became cloaked in mystery. By the time of his death in 2015, he was a reclusive figure. This confession tape is the first time we hear his voice telling the untold side of the story. The tape's narrator then describes unsettling scenes behind the scenes at Polar Studios, the heart of ABBA's creative empire. After rehearsals, as night fell, Gunnarsson says ABBA would turn off the studio lights and gather by candlelight. They arranged their gear in a pentagram formation, a ritual circle, and initiated a strange creative game. "We began to hum an old melody in turn," he whispers on tape. "It started with just a hum, but then our instruments seemed to join themselves. The melody grew, and we didn't stop it." On the tape, Rutger recalls one night in 1979. The room grew unnaturally cold, and he saw the flame of a candle bend sharply, as if blown by an invisible breeze. He says the others noticed too. One by one they left the circle, hearts pounding. Rutger stayed and finished the melody on his bass. That tune, he says, was the first to feel alive. He also mentions a mysterious engineer known only as the Watcher. On the tape, Rutger credits this hooded figure with monitoring the midnight sessions from a back room. No one outside the band ever spoke to the Watcher. He appears in Rutger's confession as a quiet sentinel, a gatekeeper to whatever unseen force they were channeling. By 1981, after the last ABBA tour,